Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about T.O.P. Betrayal. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Some of you guys know the newest ultimate that just came out recently, the Omega Protocol. So this is a drama story about that. Here is a story about our first T.O.P. ultimate static. It didn't go well. I had decided to team up together with 4 people that I cleared DSR with in a casual context. 3 days a week, 9 hours a week. So 3 hours each day. Okay. That's actually just like my static, but we recently added an extra day. So now we have 12 hours a week instead of 9 hours a week. And recruit 4 more members for T.O.P. with a goal of raiding more frequently, 5 days a week, which will become 15 hours a week in order to clear faster. We were all getting along well during DSR, so we were pretty happy and hyped for the new ultimate. Since our caster friend was in a big FC and had multiple connections, we all agreed that he would be the best one to recruit the 4 missing members for our T.O.P. static. He accepted the challenge and recruited 4 members. I wonder if this was just like everyone planned that he would be the leader and he was like, I accept this leadership role kind of thing. It's not really specified that they all like said he was the leader, but I'm guessing this means he's the leader. On the night T.O.P. dropped, we started raiding and we quickly realized we were progging at a pretty good pace. Every raid night we were reaching a new personal best. Obviously, there were some meme pulls and people learning some mechanics slower than others, but that is totally normal in a prog environment. Very true. However, after roughly 2 weeks, the machinist seemed kind of disappointed with the rhythm at which the group was progging. If we died to mechanics that were prior to our prog point, he would start saying stuff like, we need to stop memeing, or we've done this 100 times, it's not fun anymore. And he started disclosing that he wanted to clear within 1 month max. Oh boy, 1 month for T.O.P? Okay, those are some high goals. Unless the whole party is like really, really good, all very good players. We're talking like pro level here, like worlds, almost like world's first level, and how they do every day of the week. It's not casual anymore if they upped it to 15 hours. It's like between casual and hardcore, I suppose. But yeah, I do think this machinist has high goals for saying he wants to clear T.O.P. for a month. It's not an easy ultimate. However, the funny thing is, he was one of the least consistent players of the group, and no one expected to clear within a month, as we are not pro players. Our 15 hours a week schedule was probably not enough. Oh, cool. All right. I said those things too. Nice. Our raid leader had to talk to him on multiple occasions to remind him of our current strat to kill the bosses, but he would insist on doing his own things and wiped us multiple times. Wait, so he's doing different strats to what the team was gonna go with? That's strange too. Basically, during the 2nd week of prog, a lot of members within the group started to be annoyed by this machinist and his comments. One morning, the party leader, which is the caster, said in our static Discord, "No raid tonight. I am disbanding the party." I was kind of confused because our prog was really ahead of most groups doing 15 to 20 hours a week. I DM'd him and asked why he quit and disbanded instead of just kicking the machinist, because in my mind, the machinist was the issue. The raid leader replied that it's not only he who's leaving, but the scholar and the gunbreaker are as well. Still in shock, I asked him what was the reason why they decided to leave, and he said, machinist was part of the problem and the reason why others left. Slightly confused, I went back to our static Discord and realized the machinist had already left the channel. At that moment, I kind of felt relief. I told myself, well, if the machinist was the problem with this unreasonable expectations and annoying comments, now that he's gone on his own, maybe I can reach back to the Gunbreaker and the Scholar and rebuild our static. That makes sense, yeah. However, the caster informed me that it would be useless to try reach out to them, ... I said, I was sure from what I saw in the Discord channel, only you, the caster, and the machinist left. But if the Scholar and the Gunbreaker also left, the static is kinda donezo. I might reach out to the Scholar and Gunbreaker to ask if they want to rebuild without the machinist. The caster leader said they won't be able to. I had a hunch to maybe what was happening here. Are you creating a new group with them? I asked. The caster said, yes, we are in PF a lot and found people that play a lot more. So it's just all the people who are from PF. At that point, I understood that he had truly rebuilt a static on the side without telling anyone in the current static and only decided to tell us now. I then thought that maybe I was the problem and asked him, was I progging too slow for you three? The caster said, no. I then say, to me, the Gunbreaker was progging slower than me, especially in phase 3. So I'm not sure I understand why you guys would leave a group that is progging just fine. The caster says, the issue would be in this order. 1, disrespect and disagreement from the machinist. 2, inconsistency from support. 3, slow prog. And as I said, the issue was not you or the Sam or me or the Reaper. At that moment, I didn't even know how to feel. Was he lying, and did he actually feel like I was playing like dog shit? Because he says in number 2 that one of the issues were the supports, yet he leaves with a Scholar and a Gunbreaker. Still to this day, I don't know if my performance wasn't good enough and he was lying to me or if he's just delusional. Later, he tells me he and the Gunbreaker were progging extra hours in PF and saw one mechanic further than what we saw as a static, and explains to me that because he does extra hours in the Party Finder with the Gunbreaker, he feels like it's a much better match. Again, I ask if I should also do extra hours in Party Finder outside of raid hours too, so I can get better, and if my performance wasn't good enough. And he replies that I wasn't the issue. At this moment, I'm really disappointed that his expectations were never communicated through the group, and I actually have never seen a static with mandatory outside of raid practice. That is really sad, because the leader didn't say anything about outside of raid practice. But like, it's almost like he is using it now as an excuse to the OP in the story. In the end, only me, the Reaper, and the Dark Knight were left in the Discord channel, as the Ast decided to just leave the group since we were only 4 out of 8 players. With the Ast leaving, we are now 3 out of 8. I totally understand the fact that maybe for our leader and the Gunbreaker, we were not raiding enough. Maybe he also lied to me and he felt like I was a burden to the group. And that is totally fine. The only thing I am really mad about is the fact that he told no one that he felt like we should do extra hours in Party Finder. He never told us he felt X, Y, and Z person was underperforming. He never told us the machinist was being annoying for all the group members and that he should be kicked. All he did was secretly build a new static on the side and one day drop the bomb on the rest of us. Yeah, that super sucks. If he told us he was about to leave with half the group with a week's notice, like, guys, we are not getting along well with a member, I give us 1 more week or else we disband. Or Guys, we are not progging as I was expecting. I give us 1 week to get to X mechanic or else we disband. Or I prog faster by doing it on Party Finder. If we don't do Party Finder extra hours, we should disband. If he gave any kind of warning like that, I wouldn't be mad. I can understand that people's expectations change over time, but him creating his second group on the side without telling us, leaving me and the Reaper and the Dark Knight out to dry, that felt really bad. As I said, we were very close to each other during DSR, and I was just in shock that he just couldn't say anything prior to disbanding to leave us time to rebuild while he also builds his more hardcore group. I feel as if he really did treat us like tools and subhumans. As I said, our group had some really good progression speed. Therefore, right now, it is almost impossible for us to rebuild with people at our prog point. We had to spend 10 plus hours in recruitment last time to find people, and we are still not 8 out of 8, which sucks. Hopefully, the atmosphere within this new group will be less hostile than what we had to deal with the previous machinist. And hopefully this group can better communicate the expectations of everyone so no one feels disappointed. In the end, I'm really just mad at him because he did not have the balls to tell the group that people were unhappy with the machinist and that he and the gunbreaker were thinking about joining a more schedule-intensive group in advance. I feel like my time was wasted, and right now, because we couldn't recruit in advance, we can't prog at all, and we are stuck in the looking for members bandwagon. Still, to this day, I don't know if I was part of the problem or he just lied to me by saying I wasn't an issue, which feels bad as I always want people's true opinion in order to improve myself as a player. I'm always ready to take criticism and the truth even when it hurts. I think he was the worst static leader I have ever had. And I told him, the end. I feel bad for that person. I feel like half the static was blindsided. I do agree with a lot of points in the story. Of course, I wasn't there, but hearing the OP's perspective on like what went down, I agree with a lot of points. Like, raid leaders should have open communication, and it's sad that half of the party was left in the dark and had no idea. Oh, it sucks. And it seemed like most of the people were just like, hey, this machinist sucks, let's just get rid of him. I hope the leader makes a good call and like boots the machinist, and then we all find a machinist together. It's just weird that he kind of was already thinking like, I just want to make an entirely new group with it, and only keeping some people. And it's weird because he's friends with the OP, right? You can already tell in this story that the raid leader played DSR with the OP, and it's weird that they didn't have that open communication, even privately between each other in DMs. So that person, I hope OP just never trusts that person again. Yeah, it feels really bad. I'd feel betrayed by my raid friend, really. Yeah, and they said it. The leader didn't have the balls or the confidence to openly communicate that with the rest of the static members, whether it was in text or voice. Like, he didn't even give like a week's notice. They do leave a little question at the end of the story, and it says, what are your opinions on raid leading? It's so cute. They asked me a little question at the end. I'll say it again because I've had raid stories in the past and I have answered this question. But raid leading is a really tough job, okay? If you ever take that job up and become a raid leader, treat it seriously and treat it like a business. If you want your business to run well, do all the things that are required to just keep it running smoothly. Same goes for static leading. I personally don't have the balls for it either. Like, I know myself really, really well as a person that I wouldn't make the best raid leader. Maybe okay, but like, I don't know. I just don't like, I'm not the greatest at open communication either. So that's why I say I couldn't ever do it. And I don't want to do it. So I would never give myself that position. I mean, I've had it in the past with a group of friends, and I thought that was extremely hard. And that was with a group of friends who like, they know me, they were fine with me being the leader, but it wasn't for me. So after that experience, I never, ever want to take the raid lead role ever again. I can be a co-lead, like I can help the leader out. But yeah, I would never just be the one solo raid leader that would take like all the baggage and has to do everything. No, not for me. And also like, this is kind of a sexist thing that I'm going to say right now, but it's based off my experience with video games. Like if a girl were to ever like try to lead sometimes in a group setting, and there's like, you know, a lot of guy gamers out there, sometimes guys don't listen to us. And so I don't want to ever be in that situation where I have to try lead some random guys. And there's like one random guy in the group that's like got this massive ego. And he's like, why do I want to listen to her? Like, she's not better than me. She's a woman. Why am I taking orders from a woman? Like, you'll have some, okay? I'm not saying not everyone's like that, but some people will be like that. And I never want to be in that position. So not for me, not for me. Totally not for me. I'd rather just be quiet and listen to someone else do it. You completely agree. See, like, I bet you the girls in my chat are like, hell yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like, they're probably thinking, even when I'm not a leader, they don't listen to me. No, it's some guys who don't want to listen to a woman or a girl. It's a weird thing, but there are some guys out there that are like that. So when we should all be equal, right? Like, it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a guy being a leader. If they think they can take the job, let them take the job. But yeah, that's my take on it. I'm not capable of doing it, and I've learned that I am not. And like, I will say that sometimes you run across people who have big egos or are narcissistic people, and they really, really want this leadership role. And once they do obtain this leadership role in a video game, maybe they've never had it ever IRL before, it sort of like feeds their ego more. They're like, yes, I get to control people, and like, I get to be the Mr. Know-It-All. It's like it feeds their ego like that. And yeah, power trippers, exactly. That's when you know that, uh-oh, that person isn't fit to be a leader either. What am I? Oh no, this is a bad leader. Get yourself out of that. Once you notice that your leader is power tripping, a Mr. Know-It-All, gotta dip out of there, or else it's gonna get worse later down the road. I prefer leaders who feel like they don't have to prove anything. Exactly. Okay, here's my list that I wrote up. I like in bullet form, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good raid leaders should be or have 1, good communication, whether that's with a group of people or like on voice call with everyone or one-on-one in DMs or whatever. 2, be able to listen or lend an ear. So they must be approachable, kind, understanding, and overall easy to talk to. Like, example, make it known to everyone in the static that, hey guys, if you have any issues or any questions about any part of the fight, feel free to talk to me in my DMs. That's chef's kiss, right? So it means like, oh, that's really nice of them. 3, they should have respect. They shouldn't be condescending, talking down to people. And this goes, of course, for everyone else in the static. Everyone, every single member should respect each other, not just the leader. And then 4, the leader should be goal-oriented. So be mindful with the static's goals, or people who need like a little push with more homework, or if you've noticed that they've been doing certain mistakes a lot, like maybe you can help them out a little bit and be like, oh, I've noticed if you need some help, like I'm here to talk, you notice things like that within the static. And then 5, be on watch duty. And by that, I mean, if there are any issues that arise, the leader is the person to set things straight. Well, you know, usually it would be nice if other people help out, but usually the leader should set things straight. Like in this story, for instance, the machinist was making snarky comments, right? Like imagine just raiding and someone's like, oh man, why are you wiping again? Like they're just making nasty comments like that. If you hear too much of that, the leader should be like, hey man, don't be so hard on people. Like just something like that would just make sure the vibe in the voice chat is always good. Otherwise people are going to play worse and everyone's performance is all going to be affected. Never good. Or the leader could just DM them and be like, hey, during today's like raiding and maybe the last couple of days, you've been a little bit negative. So try to like tone it down because it's hindering people's performance. You know, something like that. There. Because just being on watch duty on voice calls or throughout the raid is good to see if people are actually being treated badly and that they're too scared to actually talk to you or just say it out loud. So just keep a watch. There, those are my 5. Those are my 5 things that I think a good raid leader should have. Anyway, that was my lecture. Now I can read chat. I hope you guys all agree. Aw, yay! Thanks for the clap. I got 1 clap. Good 5. There probably is more, but this was what I thought of like on the spot. A little before I started the stream. Those are good qualifications, Patrick. Oh, thanks. I find a lot of insecure dudes let it go to their head in this game specifically. I know what you're talking about. That's why I had to put it there. Like sometimes you run into those people who badly want to be a leader and it's really just not for them. I've had that experience myself. This actually, I relate to the story because when they said that there's this player that was saying snarky comments, I've had that in the past, and I've had a leader that wasn't suited to be a leader. I think it happens to many of us. My boyfriend's raid leader is basically all the things you described. He's so lucky. Yeah, that's when a static can be successful. If you have a raid leader that, you know, pretty much fits the bill to what I described, or is at least trying to be what I described, that's good. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra. And a big thank you to my kind members who support my YouTube content.